Right in three, two, one.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Level With You show. My name is Wiley Olmstead, and this week I am joined by the Duartistic one, Anthony Duart himself,
How's it going?
the Sub-Zero hero, aka the Dominican Bakugo, Kenny Castro,
Hola.
and the not-so-fancy producer. He's up there with his tank top, looking swole, Tyler Hadley.
My hair's down. It's not up today.
It's not. You're looking like, I don't know, some sort of...
Looking like a snack.
This is how I
like
look
a
after.
snack.
This is how I look after the shower.
Whoa.
This is
Looking like
casual.
a delicious bug snack.
Yeah,
Bug
dirty,
snack.
Dirty casual tonight.
Dirty casual. That's the best kind of casual. You mean grease fox, grease steak.
If you didn't know, this is a weekly video game podcast where the four of us get together and talk about, you guessed it, video games. You can find the show live on twitch.tv/levelwithyou every Tuesday evening at around 6 o'clock. We're a few minutes late this evening. Sorry if you've been just eagerly anticipating it by the computer. You can find us the following day on YouTube services and podcast services. If you'd like to submit a question into the show, you can reach out to us via a YouTube comment, via a message on Discord. If you want to join our Discord, I'd highly encourage it. It's been more active than ever in the past few weeks. And you can squad up. Look, if you're looking to play a certain thing with one of us, or if you have any requests on something you'd like us to stream, you can do it there. Thank you so much for your support. Now we got not a whole lot of games that we've been playing that are new. There's a lot going on in the industry, and there's a lot to discuss. Some of it not so good. In fact, most of it not so good. Although I'm going to try to keep the energy positive, and even though that we're going to be talking about some not so great things that over the past couple weeks I've neglected to put in the outline because I wanted to learn a little bit more and not jump to conclusions, and didn't want to kind of go in without a full deck and have some time to react to it in a more thought out fashion. So we're going to get to that shortly, but before we do, let's do our weekly check-in with each other and find out how folks have been doing. Tyler, how are you doing up there in the upper right-hand corner?
I'm doing pretty good. Been a pretty good week. Last week I had kind of the house to myself because my girlfriend was away.
And the boys will play.
Oh,
What'd you do? Did you run around naked? Did you get to sleep naked again? You didn't have to close the door when you peed?
Well, I still got the roommate here, so.
Oh yeah.
You still have the roommate.
Whatever. You guys have been together long enough. You're all
hasn't
people,
he
right?
seen, right? He's seen it all, right, Tyler?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What else did I do? I went to a 4th of July little party. Nothing too big and crazy. More just like a small family thing at my friend's house. But they made a bunch of really good food, ribs and pork and chicken, all on the grill, and ended the night with a fire and some s'mores.
Hell
That was
yeah.
good.
Doesn't get much more American than that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What about you guys? You guys have any 4th of July fun times, or were you self-quarantining?
I pretty much did the same thing Tyler did. My roommate's mom had a couple people over, like family thing for 4th of July. So as I usually do on the weekends, I woke up at 5 and then took a shower, and then we went there, and I got really, really drunk. I ate a lot of really good food, and then we had s'mores at night. It was really good.
Really? You get s'mores too? Okay.
Yeah,
Guess they're alive and kicking.
they
Anthony,
are. Oh,
Anthony
dude,
didn't go to sleep
nothing-
until 5. He's right in
Yeah,
the
that's
Discord
right.
at
I texted
5 a.m.
It was awesome. I was like,
I was
I
like,
missed you.
I think it was actually 8:30 a.m.
It might have been. It was really
I don't
late.
know. It was late.
We stayed up pretty late.
So s'mores. You guys go for the whole, like, how many squares of Hershey per cookie?
Well, like this little square, or like we talking half a bar squares?
Half a bar. Like,
Oh, I
do
go for
you-
like one half bar,
one half bar.
Yeah, one
Oh,
half bar.
I
one
usually
mushroom.
do. I
one
usually do
marshmallow.
like a row. It's like the 3 rectangles, just like
That's
a
not
row.
enough. That's too thin.
I think it's
man.
enough.
You gotta.
I'm
you
with
gotta do the whole
Tyler.
thing.
Anthony, if you're just gonna have one, I agree. But sometimes you want to have two, and
Well, I mean, how do you think my body got like this in the past couple months? It isn't from doing those little sliver s'mores. It's from doing big double stuffs.
Body by Hershey.
Oh yeah.
Nice. And what about you, Kenny? What were you up to? I'm guessing you were grilling for some folks.
No, actually, surprising Saturday, very mellow, low key, just us. Me and Dolly. We went nowhere. We just stayed home. And we just kind of kept it okay. We were originally gonna spend time with my in-laws, but they wanted to go to Hampton Beach, and that I knew that was gonna be insane because it's Hampton Beach. You know.
Oh, it's probably
Mhm.
wild.
So we weren't gonna do that. So we stayed home. We actually got ready because the next day we were having visitors over. My brother Christian, was bringing his new girlfriend over so we could meet her.
Ooh.
Another
And,
girlfriend?
well, remember
What's going
first
on,
one
Christian?
the one he was seeing last year, right? Tyler, remember that one? Kind of said bye to him and was like, "Oh, I gotta take this job overseas," and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
like I'm leaving in a week, and then 3 weeks later he bumped into our Stop and Shop, and it was awkward.
Sorry, my
Mhm.
plane got delayed. My moving got delayed.
So it was cool. We met her. I made steak on the grill, wings. I did 3 different wings. I did roasted garlic wings. I did Memphis barbecue wings, and I did a sweet spicy teriyaki wing. I grilled them
Ooh.
on the grill, and
Oh
some
yeah.
grilled asparagus. You know how I go in when I will get a couple drinks, fire up the grill. You guys saw my performance. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah,
last year.
you can get it going. You're there for like hours, so
Yep.
that's what's up.
Hey, thanks
Uh,
Broadway Vic for subscribing, and I hope you enjoy your fat bowl of honey nut frosted flakes. I didn't know they had honey nut frosted flakes. I thought it was just regular frosted flakes, and then man, I know they elaborated on that, but that's great.
That must
yes.
be new honey nut frosted flakes.
Yeah, that's fucking tight. I'm gonna have to get some. I gotta go grocery shopping anyway.
I want you guys to know one thing. Even though he subscribed, we can't get away without slander. Get me? Broadway
What?
Vic out here, he was talking his nonsense, talking about, oh, you guys got lucky in the Smash face off and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second, I thought we dominated that. So, I've been in their streams playing Smash with them, and I told them, get your crew back together. You guys can rematch us whenever. You
Yeah,
know?
we're down. We're down. Just let
We're
us know time and
I'm
place.
surprised they didn't say the same to us. So like, get your crew back together. You guys hardly do things together anymore.
Well, we've been busy people, right?
Oh yeah.
I know. I honestly, Wiley's been on a cook off. I feel like we need a separate channel for Wiley's cooking.
That'd be
Yeah,
pretty
man.
cool.
There you go.
Tyler and the new romance. His girlfriend moving in. I feel like that blossomed into something. So that was, and all his canoe trips. So it's been busy to get together.
Oh yeah.
Down the
And
lake
a
with Tyler.
whole lot of Warzone for me. So it's tough to catch me. You guys are always like 20 games of Warzone deep in the trenches with these guys in Xbox. So it's tough to get together, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, we did manage to get together and play. I think it may have actually
Ri-
been
Risk of Rain too.
we played a run of Risk of Rain 2. Me, you, and Tyler did at least, and I think maybe we'll save that for a little bit. I just wanted to say for my 4th of July, my folks invited me over, and it's kind of becoming a weekly or bi-weekly thing where they have us over for dinner, and they'll cook us dinner, and we sit in the yard, and we try our best to social distance. And you know, occasionally when you're walking through the kitchen and you're helping clean up, you're definitely within less than 6 feet of each other, and it's hard on my mom. She's like, wanting to give us a hug and yada yada, shit like that. Um, but I don't know. Like, I still feel the need to keep my distance. I went to the beach on Monday at Musquamaquit, Rhode Island. It was beautiful. Elena is a big beach girl. I really like the beach too, since I've been with her for 6, 7 years now. And, um, we were around a lot of people. Like, we got there early. We're the early birds, but it was like jam packed by 1 o'clock. And then it just got to a point where we're just like, we got to get out of here. There's people everywhere. Nobody's wearing masks and whatever. But
Did you guys see that
I
video
don't know.
of
I
the
think
guy
you're
down
less
in
likely to get
Florida?
it outside.
Yeah, because you're not like breathing down each other's throats. But I mean, I'm no doctor. But did you guys see the video of the guy in Florida who dressed up like the Grim Reaper and was going around to the different beaches and trying to warn people of like, hey man,
Yeah.
social distance, coronavirus. And then that one, like, there's one big, like, dumpy fat guy who came up and was like, hey, fuck you, man, get the fuck out of here. And you like got into a little, I didn't get into a scuffle, but he kept arguing at him, and it was just funny. It's just something.
I
Sounds
saw that.
funny.
Yeah, I saw the pics of the guy in this suit, but I didn't, see that video you're talking about. And after I got back, I'm like, all right. And then you see all the news stories about how it's skyrocketing in Florida and Texas, and
Yeehaw.
everything's bad and nothing's getting better. I mean,
Hey, I was in Texas.
you're in Texas, you're fine. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
You're not slowly carrying a disease like the T virus that could kill us.
No,
Yep.
I got tested. I'm negative.
Nice.
We
Did
got
you?
William Burke over here.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna spill
Word.
your samples.
Wow, me being wired really is making a huge difference. Like there's so much less lag in the conversation.
All right, so
Huge
Wiley, for those that don't know, extrapolate. Are you talking about a coffee buzz, or are you talking about a technological buzz?
What are you talking about?
When you say
you said
being
you're
wired.
wired.
Oh, I am now
Oh, yeah, like
wired.
when me being
not,
wired.
not using Wi-Fi. Yes, sorry, I should have
Mhm.
specified.
No, that's okay. I like that though. I was like, ooh, I want coffee too.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Ever since Caitlin
But why
came
they
into my
got
life, I've been
wired?
drinking a lot more coffee.
Oh yeah.
Nice. I've been drinking my usual 2 cups in the morning, occasional 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I usually just have one in the morning.
And you use a French press?
Sometimes she did get a whatever low, like a drip coffee pot, so we've been using that too.
So much easier. That's what
Yeah,
I
it
use.
is.
Yeah, for sure. I do that, and I use a coffee grinder. Usually, I like the whole bean smell. You grind them up in the morning. Something to look forward to when you wake up.
It's so tight. French presses are the way to go, man.
Yeah, they're really good.
You're so fucking good.
My
So
roommate has
tasty.
something that's like a French press, except for it's like a tube, and he lowers something, and it doesn't leave any residue
Oh
at
yeah,
the
that's
bottom.
the yeah. Oh really?
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen those.
that's a French press. That's what Caitlin has here.
Yeah, just a little tube thing that you push, and it just got
No,
all the
but
little.
this is literally like a plastic, like literally tube, like not like a carafe.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not sure
I
what
know.
it's called.
that's interesting.
Um,
The sump
Word.
pump of coffee.
Well, sounds like we all had pretty pleasant 4th of July weekends. Glad everybody's still healthy and staying safe.
I know. I miss everybody though. I can't wait for us to get back together.
I know. I told you guys, and I was really drunk, and I still feel the same way. We all gotta hang out soon.
Anthony's gotta have a pool party at his dad's house.
Gotta have a pool party. Gotta jump in. No diving board though. Cost of the insurance go up. Oh no. That's why I took it out. That's why we got rid of the trampoline. I cried.
Yeah, it would be nice. Definitely would like to get in a pool, and being around you guys again would definitely be fun. Although we gotta.
I'm gonna hug you so hard, Wiley, and
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard.
You're not gonna be able to run
like,
away.
"Whoa, come here." It's just gonna be your vision, but it's just gonna be me just running at you all dumpy, just.
Tyler's gonna hug him so hard, which means he's gonna dry hump you.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Because
jeez.
of how much he misses you.
Yeah, you got two
Oh.
sides, front and back.
Your excitement, it's gonna be like, is that a hug or is that a dry hump? Like,
I'll draw the line at kisses. I won't spread
No
saliva.
tongue.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
okay,
just on
fair
the lip.
enough.
Peck.
As long as you're wearing a mask.
Yeah, okay.
Kiss me through the mask, babe.
Alrighty. Anything anybody else wants to mention before we hop into some game talk?
I don't know. I could go for a coffee right now, but that's not here nor there. So
Coffee. I've already transitioned into the beer game, so coffee will have to wait until the AM.
true.
All right.
All right, so let's dive into what we've been playing. Not a whole lot new for me, but I do have some stuff to touch on. Tyler's the one with the more interesting things to say. He's the one that played Ubisoft's new Battle Royale, Hyperscape.
Hyperscape.
It's now in beta.
Good one.
Going to be officially released on, I believe, July 16th. Is that still the tentative release date?
I'm not exactly sure. I know the beta testing ends today, so it's possible that in about a week and a half from now, that they could be launching it. And it's going to be launching on all platforms too.
Including the Switch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool. So
interesting.
you played a couple hours of it, and what were your thoughts?
So the game is a 99-person battle royale, 3-person squads, and I mean it's cool. It's definitely trying to be like Apex. I feel like in a way where there are different guns, there's different abilities, but the abilities aren't locked to any specific hero. Um, I mean, you have heroes, but really they're just like cosmetics. But the abilities in the game are called hacks, and you pick them up during the match. And you can have two different abilities at a time. So they have like what's that?
There's no. Is there differences in characters or no?
No, just cosmetic differences in characters. So
Okay.
there's like 3 male characters and 3 female characters or something.
Mhm.
And
That's
they
wild.
just look different.
That's why they get the cash. That's gonna be all those microtransactions because you don't want to look the same as your buddy playing. You want to have a cool hat or a
Maybe.
cool top.
Maybe. So yeah, the abilities, the hacks, you pick them up in game. You can have 2 at a time. They're things like a teleport skill. There's like a super jump skill. There's like a radar skill. It's kind of like Bloodhounds in Apex. There's one that like you turn into a bouncy ball and get like super armor.
That sounds fun.
There's another
A little bit of
one.
Fortnite influence there. Remember those
Yeah.
bouncy balls from like
Oh,
seasons
yeah.
8 and 9?
Yeah, I think so.
How's the movement? Does it feel like fluid when you're
The
running
movement
around the map?
it's very fluid. There's like a lot of movement, especially like compared to like all the other battle royale games out there. It's probably the most mobile of any of the ones I've played, and it's also very vertical. So it's not like the typical battle royale where there's a circle that's closing in on you. Instead, there's districts, and throughout the match, the districts start corroding, or I know there's a term for it, but they start like breaking down, and which means they just like start turning black and then eventually fall off the map. So if you're stuck in a district that corrodes or whatever, you basically just fall off the map and die.
Right in
Huh.
the ether.
So there's like warnings that'll tell you like when those districts are being eliminated and stuff like that. But it's very vertical. You're able to like jump on top of buildings pretty easily. You have a double jump in it, so you just have a double jump from the very beginning. Every character.
Is there any sort of gulag type thing where you can die and be revived?
No, there's no gulag per se, but so when you do die, you become like a ghost kind of character, where you can still move freely around the map as like if you were still alive, but nobody can see you except for your squad. And while you're like this ghost character, you can still ping enemies and like items and stuff like that for your team to see. And then in order to get revived, you need to find a revive station, which is basically where other players are eliminated. Other players who are eliminated after you die create the revive stations, and then you just like sit out one of those, and then you have to meet up with one of your live squad members to revive you.
And you could do that all the way up to if you were eliminated in the first 2 minutes, you can do it like with 10 players left.
I believe so. Yep.
Interesting.
One thing that's also interesting, just in terms of the match itself, can't remember what it's called. It's like Claim the Crown or something like that is what the match itself is called.
Something King? I think I saw someone play that.
So the way that the game ends is either you're the last team standing, or I think when there is only like 4 to, I can't remember how many exactly, but when there's a low number of squads left, a crown appears, and then the squad who picks up the crown, if they hold onto the crown for 45 seconds, then they win the match. But once they pick up the crown, then it shows like their location, and people are just like flocking to them.
Wow. That's kind of crazy. I mean, it's surprising to me how developers are continuing to make battle royales feel distinct and unique in ways in a genre that, you know, didn't originally seem, at least to us who are not game developers, that when it first started, it's like, it's a 100-player deathmatch. Everybody falls onto an island, but with first Fortnite and then Apex and then Warzone and now Hyperscape, it seems like they're all finding their own little some sort of niche, and it's the genre of the last 5 years for sure. That's been able to engage people and get squads playing, unlike really anything else as far
Mhm.
as mainstream appeal goes. So everything you're saying about its fluidity and its movement and its verticality seems very interesting to me. And
Yeah, it's a lot of
free to
fun.
play.
Yeah, it's free to play. I think it would be a lot more fun, like with like playing with you guys as opposed to like just like random people.
Yeah.
Because I think it is a game that you should be communicating with a squad if you actually want to do well.
hmm Does it
Um,
have a jump master mechanic like Apex?
a jump master mechanic? What do you mean?
Yeah, like
Like
do
vault?
people like automatically follow you once you set a jump location, or
Yeah,
is
so
it
I mean,
more like
there's a ping system. So typically somebody will ping somewhere, and then they can confirm the drop location or something like that.
okay, cool.
Yeah, okay, they got to drop on their own. Okay.
And then I'll talk a little bit about just like the weapons. So I mean, they have like kind of the basic weapons that you would imagine, like the SMGs, assault rifles, shotguns, sniper rifles. Then they also have some other kind of like energy weapons that like fire off like an electrical burst that like explodes on impact and stuff like that. And the way the weapons work and how you get stronger weapons is you fuse the weapons together. So say I pick up a shotgun, and I find another one of the same shotguns in the map. Uh, I just fuse the guns together, and I think each gun has like 4 different levels. So like the first time I fuse a gun, I'll get like increased mag size. The second time I fuse a gun, it'll give me like extra reload speed. The next time it'll give me more damage or something like that. And every gun can be fused with itself like 4 different times. And you can also fuse abilities too. So as you find the same ability, that just like stacks on each other. And I think abilities, when you fuse them, it reduces cooldown time.
Well, that sounds pretty neat, and I think we'll all give it a shot before. Well, I guess it'll be right after we record next week's show because it comes out in just over a week from now. So we'll have some more impressions to give everybody on Hyperscape. But thanks for the detailed first impressions, Tyler. Sounds pretty cool.
No problem. No problem.
And Kenny, there's this game that's been taking some Twitch audiences by storm, and we had one of our viewers actually reach out and request for you to play this game. Are you ready to talk about it now, or your PC crashed? Okay, bummer.
That's a really good. I like that he's very stoic. But he's like he's one of those like I'm a man of not many words. But like
Okay, so we're gonna have to come back to Kenny for his thoughts on Maneater, which is the open world Shark PG that's getting
RPG.
a good amount of buzz. Personally, unfortunately, I didn't play too much new to talk about with our audience after The Last of Us Part 2. I'm waiting for that next big AAA story-driven experience to really dive into, and it's coming soon with Ghost of Tsushima, which I am super excited for.
When does that come out again?
Comes out July, I believe, 19th. So
Ooh, 2 more weeks. 1 week.
12 days.
Ooh.
Paper Mario comes out soon too.
Paper Mario comes out July 23rd. Yeah.
I don't know about that one. I don't know. I want to look into it more, but you just bring back the partners, bring back the turn-based battles, bring back the star points, experience points, bring back the badges.
I thought it looked really good from what I saw. I mean, I'd only saw that one big trailer, but I was like, dang, this looks pretty epic.
To be fair, I've only seen like the trailer and maybe like 5 or 10 minutes of it, so I can't judge it by any means yet, but I just hope it's good.
In other words, you're full of shit.
I am. I haven't pooped yet.
Just kidding. I'm hoping to put Paper Mario on my birthday list because my birthday's coming up on the 28th, and
ooh, amiibos, that would be cool. I hope they do a Paper Mario amiibo. That's what they need to do.
That would be cool. Kenny, so you're back. Are you on mic now, or?
I'm on my headset because my PC crashed and I'm restarting it.
Okay, well,
So I'm not sure what craziness happened there.
that's all right. You still sounded pretty good. So I was legit getting ready to ask you about Maneater, your opening hours with the Shark PG, and what you thought about it.
It was pretty decent. I will start off with my big thing of it. Like, it was $40. I did not buy it. One of our followers, I gotta give him the shout out, Ghost Mick 33. He bought it and he was like, "Hey, it would be cool if you stream it." I've been playing it. And I was like, he's a friend of mine from high school, but he follows it. He really likes our content. So he was like, "It'd be cool if you streamed it." I'm like, "I'll stream it and I'll play it," which I
Hell
did. I
yeah.
did stream it. I will say it's not worth the $40. At
Okay.
least from what I've played so far of it. It's fun, it's entertaining, very repetitive though. And maybe I'm not that great at the combat, but the combat, can struggle at times.
So you're getting harpooned and shit?
You'll get shot by like people on the boats, the hunters, the fishermen, right? But you don't only fight them, and it's the backdrop of the whole game is like a reality TV show, right? So you start off as the mom, the main character of the reality TV show, guts her, and then you survive as the baby, and then you have to evolve
Mom Shark.
and grow. Well, Mom Shark is, that's the prologue, and you come out and he rips you out of mom, and he's like, "Oh, look at the baby." He marks you so he can hunt you
Look at
as
the
you grow
baby.
older, right? And then you take his arm, you eat his hand before being released into the water and needing to survive.
Oh my gosh.
You do have some decent encounters with alligators and barracudas. Like, so you have the water predators as well that you have to worry about, and not just the land predators.
So what are you playing as, a great white or a hammerhead, or you get a choice?
I think it's a great white. You don't get a choice. They
Okay.
give you the one shark. It's a great white. Very interesting with like you could, depending on like the mini bosses or the bosses that you take down and challenges you take down, you unlock these customizable things. Like right now I have like these bioelectric teeth on my shark. So it does some shock damage to enemies nearby when I bite somebody. So it's pretty decent. You could add
That would
some
shock you as well if you're underwater, but
exactly, but you're
games.
mutating to exactly. You're also mutating to be resistant to it. So I guess they go either way. But it is somewhat repetitive. Most of the time, you're hunting down these treasure boxes in the area to gain experience and to gain the resources for certain abilities to upgrade them to upgrade your equipable abilities or whatever you want to call them. For the most part, it's not bad. It's not bad. I would have rather like a $30 game. I think the extra $10. I'm not, I'm a good 3 hours in. Maybe it gets a little better. I foresee it just being the same repetitive. New area, hunt down these things, attack the humans, get hunted down, increase your infamy. From my understanding, you can evolve and grow all the way to a megalodon.
Oh,
That's pretty sweet.
that sounds pretty good.
I think that's when you reach level 30. That's your peak evolution.
Ooh.
Okay,
So it's been,
that's when
it's
you're
been
just in the
decent so
end
far.
game. Can you do anything like summon a Sharknado?
Ooh.
No, not that I've seen so far.
That's the DLC.
Call it the Sci-Fi Channel.
I will say though, you can do kind of some. I think it's cool. So let's say I've done it a couple times where I'm being attacked by the humans, and I'll jump up, grab a human off a boat, and then I'll go into slow motion and hurl them at another boat and take out another human that's there. So it's like I
Jeez.
use a human against another human.
That's
So we
pretty
gotta do. You
good.
gotta pit us
So,
against each other.
Yeah, I think the toughest fights I have had is each area has an apex predator. So I've gone against the Apex Barracuda and I've gone against the Apex Alligator. Those are tough fights because these are like the area boss from the water predators, and they're normally a couple levels above you, and they're never by themselves. So it's like a fight with against them and their minions, and they can get a little interesting. But the whole lock-on system or just being able to target sometimes is wonky. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'm missing my bites, and I'm like I get an attack, and then I'm running away, trying to eat small fish to replenish health, and then coming back and attacking again. So sometimes I find myself, because I'm not great at the combat, attacking, my health getting low, and then running away and eating small fish, and then coming back when I have health again, and just go and just just a cycle of that
Rinsing and
sometimes,
repeating.
depending on the
Okay.
fight. Yeah.
Okay, well, that sounds like, somewhere around where the critics have been saying it's a fun gimmick and maybe a 7 or so out of 10, but it's not like gonna set anybody's world on fire. But I love the concept. I love that you're streaming it, and hope that you do so again later in the week, because it sounds like, if not a deep time, a fun time, but it is a deep time because
It's a deep time. Go with the deep
Yeah.
end.
And
So is it
deep,
always you versus like everything else? You getting you like little buddy sharks or whatever? Or is it always just you, just only like lone
just
shark?
you against? And so far it's just you against everything else. And
playing
sometimes
on
I like to
Xbox,
swim
right?
in. Yeah, I got it on the Xbox. I believe it might be on PS4.
Is it
I'm
a
pretty sure.
is it an easy 1,000 gamer score?
I was looking at it, and it does look like an easy 1,000 gamer score, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna attempt to get it.
There you
Yeah,
go.
free man. Might as well.
Exactly. I'm hoping, this has been a little red flag with the PC crashing, because my hope was that I was gonna eat dinner and actually stream tonight some of that, because I didn't think I was gonna hop on Warzone. But until I figured why this crashed right now, I'm gonna put a hold on, promising any stream tonight or tomorrow.
Check your drivers.
Gotcha.
Update them.
I know.
I should do that.
Update them drivers.
Oh yeah.
All right, Anthony. Now, you told me before the show that you mainly been playing the mobile game 7 Deadly Sins, which nobody cares about.
Mm-hmm. You guys are missing out. Also, if anybody plays Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, another shitty mobile game that nobody cares about, the 4th or 5th anniversary started today and tomorrow, so you get a bunch of free shit just for logging in. So if you play, log in, you get your good stuff. If you don't play and you want to start, log in, you get a whole bunch of cool shit.
Cool.
That's all
And I
I've
was
been doing.
just joshing. If you got anything to say about 7 Deadly Sins,
No, I
feel
know.
free.
It's just a mobile game. It's literally just a time killer. It's great to play when you poop. If you want like a turn-based RPG with character collecting and different colors.
I think you're the only one to have impressions on Min Min, the newest Smash fighter. You want to give your hot tips and tricks on how to become a pro with Min Min?
I wish I could go that far. I played a couple matches. It was fun. Her mechanic when her down B is you switch your different arms out, and depending on what kind of direction you, I guess the only one I really experimented with was the big ball, because I had like a hard hitting, and it was really cool because you could do whatever the side B with her special arm that you switch to, and then you could kind of follow up with her other arm, because her other arm's always that little dragon head. So you can switch from like the dragon head you start off with. You can switch to, she starts off with a dragon on one hand, a little like hoop ring thing on the other one that you can like curve and throw out, which is really neat. And you can always follow it up with your other hand. And then you could switch that to like that big wrecking ball, which is the one I use. That is not, it doesn't have a huge range, but when it connects, it can knock out at like, I think you can take a stock at like maybe 50, 60%. So
wow.
if you get hit with that, you got to be careful. You can charge it if it gets charged up all the way. It's kind of like one of Little Mac's punches, except less charge time. There's that, and then there's the dragon head, which is just kind of the same as the other arm. I can see here being pretty intricate to try to learn how to combo and learning when and where to switch your arms and how to kind of connect everything.
How do we think this game is going to affect the sales of ARMS, the Switch, I believe, launch game, if not launch within like launch window? Is it going to shoot up 1,700%?
It made me want to buy it because I never played it. And I was like, I like the character designs.
You don't even think a little bit, Tyler? It's not going to get a little...
maybe a little bit, but not anything significant, I don't think.
It'll probably, if anything,
It's such an
hopefully it'll
old
get a
game
sequel.
at this point.
maybe you'll get a sequel, like what spurred Marth and Roy
Yeah.
from the game when we got him in the GameCube when we got Melee.
Melee,
That
yeah,
was the first that
definitely.
was my first exposure to him. I was like, oh, I want to play as the anime sword boys. I thought Marth was a girl for the longest time.
Do you have arms, Tyler?
Yeah, he's got two of them right there.
Nope.
Who,
I don't think I do.
Somebody in our friends
The
group
fact that he
had
doesn't know.
arms.
Oh no, that was one of the nights we recorded the podcast at my dad's place like years ago, and my friend Matt came over at the time, and he just got arms, and we played it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I texted him asking him if I could buy it from him. He never responded.
I was just gonna say, like, I wonder if it's still going for $59.99.
It is. I just checked. It's
gosh.
awful. It's either that or you can find it. Yeah, or you can go on eBay and get it for $49.99 or $39 if you're lucky.
That's
Wow,
crazy.
Depending.
Nintendo digging in their heels on that no price cut strat. I wonder how it's
MSRP,
going.
baby.
I was like, I want to buy Luigi's Mansion 3. It's a year old now. It's gotta be cheap, but no.
Nope.
All right, so the games I've been playing, Borderlands 3 has been taking up the vast majority of my time. I've gotten pretty darn deep into it. I would say I'm at the well over 20-hour mark. I'm level 28, nearing the end of the single player game, and I think I just got access to the final planet. Only reason I know that is because I was speaking with another buddy that's beaten it a couple times, and he said, "Oh yeah, you just finished the swamp planet. That's the biggest planet. You still got one to go. There's not as much content there as the swamp planet, but there's a good amount of stuff." So I think it's a lot of fun. This is my first Borderlands that I've ever really gotten into. I think that the side missions are detailed in a way that you don't get from a lot of these looter shooters, and there's funny things that really flesh out the characters and story, and the weapons are always entertaining. In fact, I wish there were a little bit fewer weapons. As in my experience with many looting games, my least favorite part of them is just gathering so many of things in my inventory that I pick up for no other reason but to sell. And I'm like, I really don't want to have this. I'm a very organized person for the most part, so I don't like to have all these green and gray weapons in my inventory that are just giving me sort of OCD, and I don't know. That's just a staple of the genre. You're picking up all this stuff that you're either gonna, break down into materials or you're gonna sell, and that's par for the course. So that's not a complaint. It's just my own misgivings with the genre in general. But I think that
Did you get the gun that shoots out guns yet?
What?
I did not. I think I actually got that in my first initial playthrough where I stopped at like level 14 or something. A gun that shoots guns. That sounds super familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get to
but
pick
no,
up the guns you shoot?
Yeah, you do.
Oh wow.
I've got a couple guns that are grenades. When you reload, you throw the guns. That's a nice perk. There's a few legendaries that you get early on that through randomized drops that have ended up being staples for me through most of my playthrough. Like I have one that's a really good toxic submachine gun called Cloud Kill that just does really good DPS as well as toxifying the area around and all the enemies and like that. And Anthony's yawn means it's time to move on.
No, it's okay. I'm really tired. I'm sorry. I like Borderlands a lot. I got to get back into it.
Yeah, I would love to play with you guys.
Video.
Did you?
I did, yeah. I wanted to catch up. I watched it before it came out, but it was really nice. And I forget what the YouTube channel was, but if you are confused or you're afraid, like you want to jump into Borderlands 3 without having to slog through like 1 and 2, which are still great games in their own right. But I know, like, I was just like, I didn't finish them, but I liked them, so I just want to know how the story wrapped up. But it was really good. It was cool to go back, see all the lore, and they cover the story from Tales from the Borderlands, which is a really good story to it.
Yeah, I love Tales from the Borderlands. That's the actually only previous Borderlands games that I completed, and the main character Reese plays a pretty good character for the middle chunk of Borderlands 3, and that was fun to see. They didn't get Troy Baker back to reprise his role, and there was some drama surrounding that. But the impersonator does a pretty good job, and overall, I found the story to be at times sort of infuriatingly juvenile, like especially early on, and some of the jokes there. Like there's a game show called Who Wants to Bang a Bazillionaire, and he's talking to you like every 5 minutes through his intercom, just making really dirty puns and just not being funny. But
Yeah, it
the
does get grating after a while when you're like, okay, dude, I get it.
yeah, it's grating. But later on, I think, especially in the swamp area, there's some neat characters. When you get into Hammerlock, a character who was big into, and Wainwright, who I think they, spoilers, get married in the DLC, so that's fun. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my time with it. And I think I'll probably have the story wrapped up. The season pass, unfortunately, is still $49.99.
Yeah.
So, and I probably want a little break from it anyway. But I do think I will come back to it once the DLC goes on sale. Pick up that season pass and just continue with it. I mean, the game has a great amount of content as it is, so I feel like it's worth investing in, even if you aren't going to necessarily be one of those folks that comes back for the end game grind. Like it's almost a given that you will in Destiny. One thing that separates Borderlands is that the campaign is significant enough that if you're a single player person, I think that it can still satisfy you. And I think that that's one way that sets it apart and makes it old school. And by old school, I mean like 2011, 2012 old school. And other than that, played a few more matches of Rogue Legacy, or not matches, runs when I was on vacation the other night. Still getting my butt kicked. Didn't manage to beat the first boss, of which there are several because they're randomized. It was a giant eyeball. Slashed it a bunch of times. There's a lot of bullet hell going on. So I'm going to keep diving into that a little bit so I can maybe not suck at it and give Rogue Legacy 2 a shot, which is coming out in just a couple of weeks, July 23rd. It enters early access.
Wow.
So now, unless anybody else has games that they want to speak about, we can move into
Cruising for a newsy.
Cruising for a newsing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, kick it.
All right, cruising for a news in the part of the show where we talk about things going on in the gaming industry / gaming world, the things that we thought were notable and wanted to chat with our listeners and viewers about. Unfortunately, we got to start off with some sort of tough stuff to talk about in terms of it's more misconduct from men in power in the positions of power, exploiting people often in sexual ways through various different means. Many people over the past 3 weeks or so have been coming out sharing their stories on Twitter about whether it's verbal abuse or inappropriate behavior or more serious allegations, as in sexual assault. It's been kind of all over the place, and I could have put it on last week's show, could have even put it on the one before that, but I wanted to learn a little bit more about it and not jump to conclusions. And also, I don't know, this is something I wasn't looking forward to talking about, so I didn't want to put it off anymore. And I listed several stories here, ranging from prominent Destiny 2 streamers being accused of inappropriate behavior, even more impactful to the industry. The Evo founder had some serious accusations thrown at him, and the online event that was going to be held in lieu of the in-person event, which was canceled due to coronavirus, is now completely canceled. So now, the first time in many years, the biggest esports / fighting game tournament of the year will not be happening. And let's see. This is from a statement from the company of Evo, which is now much more than just the founder. Over the past 24 hours, in response to serious allegations recently made public on Twitter, we have made the first in a series of important decisions regarding the future of our company. The company said in a statement, progress doesn't just happen overnight or without bravery of those who speak up against misconduct and injustice. We are saddened by these events, but we are listening and committed to make making every change that will be necessary and making Evo a better model for a stronger, safer culture we all seek. And this was after a story that surfaced from somebody that's been in the FGC for a long time. He put out a pretty lengthy statement on Twitter about his experiences as a teenager with this individual. And it just leads to conversations in general about a culture that at times can can certainly be misogynistic, that's for sure. Everybody's open to that. We're going to get to it later on when we talk about what's going on with The Last of Us 2, but also where people, as Anthony was saying before the show, might feel marginalized or grew up as the person that people picked on and now maybe feel like that they're in a position of power, that they have an excuse to act in a shitty way. I don't know. I know Kenny's been looking into this type of thing over the past little while, and I've been going on for a couple of minutes now. So does anybody want to chime in on what they've been feeling as far as the situation goes?
A lot of like disappointment. I mean, like a couple of these accusations that came out, definitely for Evo. A couple of like big Smash players, I guess, got called out as well. One of them being Zero, which I follow, or followed him back. He's now retired. He used to play professional Smash, and I forget. I think it was. I guess I didn't follow him that hard because I forgot what he used to play. I think it was Melee, but
Yep.
he's most recent accusation. People are coming forth with everything going on now on Twitter, and he's getting called out for things he's done in the past, like inappropriate behavior and stuff that he's done to others in the past in his career, which is it's just disappointing. It just sucks to see like somebody who
Yeah.
you're like, oh wow, like they're really good at this thing, so they got to be like. It's funny how we put people on like a literal pedestal sometimes, and they're like, oh yeah, they're perfect. They can't do anything wrong. I mean, in this case, it's talking about Smash players when we're all just human.
No, completely, Anthony. And it's insane because, as Wally said, I've been kind of following it thanks to the Studio 149 guys. Every single time anything new came out, I didn't even get a chance to even see new tweets. Sometimes they would at me on Twitter like, "Hey, listen, you saw this, this just came out." Zero just dropped his statement on Twitter
Yeah,
about everything, and like at first it was insane. Like first accusations were coming out about Zero, and he was denying it, and then he kind of admitted to some of it. And then you get all the other things where it's not just inappropriate behavior, when it comes to, he got accused of showing underage girl hentai and
that's what it
making her
was.
feel
Yeah, he was some
uncomfortable.
minor stuff. Oh god.
And then it was like a lot of accusations and a lot of, secondhand knowledge of physical abuse with his ex-girlfriend girlfriend, the girl he's been on and off with. So with him, it was like a lot of things like that. A lot of things came out of the Sky House. Zero, when he first got onto the Smash scene, stayed at the Sky House. At Sky's, Sky had like 10 to like 20 people at one point in time living in multiple, at multiple places that he stayed at. And there, I guess, a big time just I guess one of the guys staying there, I forgot his name. He's also big in the Smash community. Was actually having a relationship with a 15-year-old girl that was living there, who is called Jizu. So that was a big one. I guess they covered that up, or covered up a lot of things that happened at the Sky House, and even Sky himself. Some of his behavior, he did like a whole statement on Twitch. He did a live stream for like 2 hours talking about the things he's not proud of doing, some of the verbal abuse he put on some of the other people who lived in the house, and just how he treated people. And it's been a lot of things, even with the guy, that's why they was mentioning Evo. When that started coming out with Evo, the things like, the founder asking for like there's screenshots of members from the FGC, like of conversations they had with him, where they're like, "Oh, can I get tickets to XYZ?" I think one person was asking for if he could hook them up with tickets to E3, and he was like, "Hey, you can get those tickets if you send me pictures of your genitalia." and he was like, and he tried to laugh it off, and he was like, "Yeah, no pics, no tickets." Like full blown screenshots of this.
Wow, I didn't
Of
see that.
him just yeah. It's once you go down the rabbit hole, Wiley, it's a big rabbit hole into all of the things that have come out within the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And sometimes it's just disturbing to see just how people abuse their power and just treated others and took advantage of them as well.
For sure. And it also extends not only to people in the Twitch community and the, fighting game esports community, but it
Mhm.
goes all the way up to major publishers, especially Ubisoft, who many people
Yes.
oftentimes think of as a good guy developer. They have the, very charismatic and older CEO in what's his name always? Yves Guillemot, and he's very, he was on stage with Shigeru Miyamoto, and they announced what was that Mario and Rabbids, and he's just a very friendly guy. And Ubisoft has had a very solid reputation this generation, putting out some of the best Assassin's Creed and Rainbow Six, and what else?
Mario Rabbids. Well, that wasn't this year.
Yeah. Well, no, but just this generation, they've had a very positive reputation, kind of the opposite of EA, as far
Yeah.
as a big time third party publisher. So I'm reading this story now from Engadget, and this just happened yesterday. Ubisoft's vice president of editorial has resigned following accusations of assault and misconduct that emerged in recent weeks. Kotaku first reported that, and his name is Maxime Biland, that Biland had stepped down, and Ubisoft has confirmed his resignation to Engadget. Both Biland and Tommy Francois, the studio's vice president of editorial and creative services, were reportedly placed on disciplinary leave in late June. Ubisoft has since confirmed that that Francois is on leave pending the outcome of an investigation, and that had fired another employee at its Toronto studio for engaging in behaviors that do not align with what is expected of Ubisoft employees. And this guy has worked there for 20 years, worked on Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, Far Cry 4. And this goes on in the article. A dozen current and former Ubisoft Toronto employees spoke with Kotaku, which published a detailed report about alleged misconduct at the studio today. They described an overall workplace culture that undervalues women's contributions, normalizes sexism and harassment, and makes excuses for the worst offenders while complaints about them go unheeded. At one point, Balin's wife, Rima Breck, was reportedly the studio's interim head of HR, and the department had a reputation for being unhelpful at best. Huh. Okay, and sometime when this was going on earlier in the week, the creative director of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, as well as Origins and Black Flag, two of the best games. I mean, Origins is one of my favorite games of all time. He stepped down after allegations of infidelity, and I don't really think that constitutes as abuse in its own right, but I think it caused a lot of upheaval in his personal life, and he just needed some time to sort of figure things out with his wife. And so I don't want to speak too much on that, but I just
so infidelity for smooth brain like me. What's is that just cheating, or is that what's infidelity?
It's cheating. It's cheating on his wife.
Okay, I just want to be. I was like, wait a minute. I thought it was like infertility. That's what I'm thinking of. You can't come.
That's not what that means either.
Oh wait. I thought infertile was when you can't have kids, right?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You said you can't come.
You could still come.
Yeah.
So what comes out? If you're infertile and you still come, what comes out? Is it just goo?
We gotta take you to the
Still
health.
come.
Yeah, take you to health class.
I never had the talk. All right, I didn't have the talk. That's why I talk with you guys. We podcast about talking. You guys are my parents now. Tell me what comes out of the penis when you are infertile.
I got you, Anthony. You hear me? It's still come. It's just that you really have no chance of getting a girl pregnant with your cum.
So it's like light mayonnaise at Subway compared to like the regular mayonnaise, right?
Practically.
Perfect. Okay, I think I get it now.
All right. I hate that.
As we move on.
I need to see.
As we move on, please.
I have a smooth brain. I need things simplified down to my level.
All right. So
Riley.
thank you, Kenny. My broader point was that it's a shame to see all this coming out. We know that there's a lot of sexual harassment in workplaces, that there's a lot of
Yeah.
unwanted touching and
Advances.
and quid pro quo stuff that needs to stop. It's good that these people are speaking out and that people are being held accountable. I hope that um, that the people that haven't done something that is so bad that they cannot be forgiven take it as a time to grow, and as a time to listen, and as a time to promote positive change and admit that they were wrong. And I've seen a couple folks doing that, and I hope that they're being genuine. One of the people that I'm mentioning is the Destiny 2 streamer, Lono. Oh, let's see. Is that who did it? Yeah, I believe Lono, Say No to Rage. He had like an 11-minute apology video that to me seemed pretty sincere, and he took into account the things that he had done wrong. He does say that he doesn't remember certain things that he's being accused of, but I think it was a good step, and I think if others like himself could come forward with similar statements, that it would be a way forward. But it's sad to see.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at least people are coming forward, and I think that this whole thing had a snowball effect where more and more people felt the confidence that they could come out with some of these accusations, and at least people feel safe enough so that they can, I don't know, come out with this easy enough.
Yeah,
Come out with
courage than bring
have
it
their
up.
voices be heard. Think about how long they've gone through it, and from reports and just people's experiences, reading some of the tweets of other people just venting in some of the stories. Some people came out on Twitter, and then you had other people kind of venting their frustrations of how when they voiced what happened to them, what was the response. And sometimes you see it and you're like, wow, it's horrifying that the response is XYZ instead of ABC.
Yeah, it just
And
adds
you're
to it just adds to like the whole like climate we're living in now too. I mean, with things that have gone on with COVID and Black Lives Matter, and I mean, people are changing. People are
and
feeling like they have a voice.
and that's good. That's what we need. We need that change.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of not feeling safe, I want to skip ahead to another story here and talk about the ridiculous hate that Naughty Dog's been getting through direct messages on Twitter and through however people are getting a hold of, especially Laura Bailey and of Neil Druckmann. Neil Druckmann is the director of the game. He's been with Naughty Dog for a long time. He's kind of taken
He's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude. He directed Uncharted 4 and Last of Us 2, and Naughty Dog put out this sort of official response. Although we welcome critical discussion, we condemn any form of harassment or threats directed towards our team and cast. Their safety is our top priority, but we must all work together to root out this type of behavior and maintain a constructive and compassionate discourse. He shared a screenshot of many different messages sent to him on Twitter, many of them anti-Semitic, many of them telling him to go die, many of them calling him, essentially saying that the fact that there's a trans character makes him an SJW, and it's just terrible. And then Laura Bailey, who plays a character that pretty much everybody knows the spoiler now. I'm still not going to say it, but she's controversial right off the bat because of a role that she plays, and many people couldn't take the risk they took with the narrative, and didn't like her character for whatever reasons. A lot of people think that she was trans in the game, and I actually did as well. And the reason being because she's extremely muscular and she has sort of just a masculine look about her, and that I had heard beforehand that there was a trans character in the game, and I assumed it was her. And they've come out and said that no, she isn't. There is another character you meet later on who's younger, and he is trans. That's all I'll say. But so I was wrong about that interpretation, and maybe shouldn't have jumped to that conclusion. But
It's okay. It's a better conclusion to jump to than all of these. Okay, I said I was a smooth brain. These people are fucking smooth brains, leaving all these comments. Like, it's like, come on. Especially to the voice actress, or the voice actresses of the game. It's like, oh, you ruined my life. Like, how sad is your life that a decision in a game like this, like it's a decision in a game is gonna ruin your life? Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
it's extremely, extremely petty. And not that this is only to games. I could see that but maybe it's only to nerds because I
Yeah.
was gonna say I could see this
Star
going
Wars.
on to Star Wars or Batman or
Oh yeah, the Lord of the Rings, or it's it's a walking movie where you walk the whole 3 movies.
something like that. Yeah, but is Stephen King gonna get this type of hate messages for killing off Danny in the third Shining book? I don't know. I doubt it.
Oh, did they?
It's no, they didn't. But
Oh, okay.
the sequel to The Shining, Doctor Sleep, came out in 2014, and Danny's like he's like a middle-aged man, and I haven't read it yet. I just finished The Shining though.
Shining's so good.
I watched the movie. It was pretty good.
One of my favorite movies. I love The Shining.
The movie's a great movie, but it's funny. The actor Stephen King, I mean the author Stephen King is actually not a fan.
Yeah, he
And
hates the movie. He fucking hates it. He's like, oh,
I actually meant that I watched Doctor Sleep and it was pretty good.
oh,
Even though
word.
I also watched The Shining and that I like that as well, but I did watch Doctor Sleep.
Cool. Well, back to The Last of Us 2. I just want to say, like, this is disgusting that they're having to deal with this, especially after putting out such a painstakingly, whether you love it or you hate it, beautiful work of art. I mean, the game
Yeah.
is just top of the line in terms of its graphical prowess, its mature storytelling, its acting, its in detailed environments. I mean, it must really suck, especially after the leaks that came out 2 months prior to the game's release, to have it all come forth when people are allowed to write user reviews, when people have played it for themselves, and whether, or even if they haven't played it for themselves and are sending this type of vitriol, is it's an embarrassment. So I hope you then you see the other side of it, of people reaching out in support to Laura Bailey and to Neil Druckmann on Twitter, and hopefully that's making it easier for them, and hopefully that drowns out the haters, because whether
Yeah.
or not you care about the decisions they took, and if you don't, I totally understand, but it doesn't give you a right to act like that.
No, seriously.
Mhm.
There's no reason that anybody should be. It's like you said, it's a work of art. It's they're gonna do it. At the end of the day, it's not as not demeaning as it sounds, but it's like they're not gonna give a shit what you think anyway. I mean, it is always good to get feedback on your your work and everything like that. But I mean, there's some of those like tweets I read are just absolute like trash garbage, where it's like, oh, you liberal fucking cunt. Like, it's clearly people that are unhinged in the highest degree.
Yeah, absolutely.
I took the time out to sent some positives through a tweet. So
Hell yeah.
I
Nice.
felt like
I
this
sent it
the
to
least I could
Laura
do.
Bailey as well.
Yeah,
Hell
me too.
yeah.
And, and you did it under the tweet that she tweeted out about it.
I did, yeah.
That's why I did it as well.
Ooh. On a
Word.
brighter note, really quick to switch it up, GameStop is having buy one get one 50% off on trading cards, and buy 5 get 3 free used games.
In case there's 8 games you want to pick up
Yeah,
that you'll
online.
never play. Anybody
Exactly.
want
Or
never-ending backlog?
Exactly.
That's me right here.
I already own all 5 of the games when I went to GameStop.com. So
GameStop
look
only
at
has
me.
5 games. I own all 5 of them. I don't want to look at any other one. No more.
Alrighty, so our next story, moving on from the sad, not so fun to talk about stuff, Xbox Game Showcase has now been scheduled for July 23rd, and I wrote Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't think that's right. I think it's actually like noon or 1, but the date's what's important. You can find out the times. And then I wrote in subtitles, Kenny, what are you looking forward to most here? You're the Xbox ambassador. They let you down last time with their gameplay stuff. How are they going to come back at Sony?
They're gonna come back with the Halo Infinite gameplay. They're doing it.
Yes,
You get me? That's
they are.
the
But
big one. You get me? They've been teasing it through tweets and everything. I think we'll also, we'll see some more of the first party studio games that's gonna come to Game Pass before the end of this, life cycle, and also for the next one. I think we'll
Mhm.
also I believe that they have the whole backwards compatibility down to a point that we'll see like a nice little montage of, like just hit titles from the first Xbox all the way through up to the Series X, right? Like a little montage. These are the games that you can expect to play on your Series X on launch day, right? If you own these games already, you'll be able to play them, yada yada yada. That'll be like in the beginning of the presentation, I believe. So those are some of the things, because they've been talking about it, right? But when you actually see it and you have these games, sometimes they might throw out Fable 1, that everybody loved the first Fable when it first came out. They'll throw out
Dude, if they show
Halo.
Fable 1, that's going to be
Like,
whack. They need to show new
well, no,
Fable.
well, though, but I mean, like, not the new Fable, like, as in this is what's getting released. They'll be like, oh, if you still own your Fable 1 from the Xbox, you'll be able to play that disc there. They're just gonna show their catalog from there to present day of what you can play. Though we'll see more of Hellblade, the new Hellblade game for sure, because that's coming very soon. Halo Infinite.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get that at launch.
I'm thinking, because remember I was talking to you guys about the rumor from earlier that's been gaining some traction about Microsoft being the front runner right now, supposedly to buy WB Interactive. If they're able to close that deal before the showcase, they're gonna put like something together, something big together into the showcase in regards to it. Maybe show us Batman, the teaser for him.
Well, all signs point to Batman and the next Rocksteady game, which I probably should have put in the outline. Seems like 5 or 6 days ago. It seems like a long time ago, but at the DC showcase that's coming up soon
in August, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, what people are saying that's going to be there is the British team, Playground Games. They're known for the Forza Horizon series. They've apparently split off into a couple teams. One of them might be working on Fable 4, Fable Infinite, Fable Legends, or whatever they're going to call it. And that's a series that never quite lived up to its potential. In my opinion, like it was always okay, but didn't hold a candle to like Bethesda stuff.
It started out amazing for the time, and then every game after.
The last one wasn't really all that great. I think the last one kind of fell short of what I expected of it. I think I wanted more, especially out of the. What were you gonna say, Wiley?
I was just going to say, I remember as a kid when I was like 11 years old, and I was very anticipating Xbox and GameCube, and I remember hearing about Project Ego, which was the follow-up to Black and White, the famous PC game from Peter Molyneux, and that ended up being Fable, and it had all these ridiculous expectations and things like, oh, when you slice a tree, it's going to be sliced for life. You're going to come back, and that tree's always going to be sliced.
And you're gonna have it's gonna influence your karma meter, and you're gonna get little evil points for slashing that tree, and you're never gonna forget about it the whole game.
Yeah, and so it never delivered on that. You played it, and you're like, okay, I can fart. That's cool.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. You could fart, you could drink, you could give drinks to other people, you could get drunk, you could drink too much and throw up. You could marry. That was really cool. You could buy a house, which is sick too. You could buy property. You could rent it out.
Yeah,
that is cool. I haven't played it in almost 20 years because I played.
It's a quick game too. It's short for an like an action RPG. It's a short game. Doing everything. It's a short game.
So in addition to them, there's the Initiative, which is the studio that was billed as the quadruple A studio, being built from the ground up for Xbox Game Studios with all sorts of talent from AAA developers, and there's some rumors that they're going to be working on a new Perfect Dark, although they're pretty unsubstantiated. And I imagine and hope that it'll be a new IP. So who knows? I mean, it's a lot of unknowns. We've got several teams that may or may not be ready to show something that Microsoft picked up within the last couple of years. And it'll be fun to watch. We'll certainly have our impressions, and that's Thursday, July 23rd. We'll learn a whole lot more. Maybe Xbox's price. Do you think we'll get it then?
Yes, I think so. I think they want to stay a step ahead of Sony with everything. So Sony didn't announce price, so they will. They're gonna kind of set the bar, make it hard for
And
Sony to undercut them.
what do you think it's going to be?
Because we're getting the 2 versions, right, of it. Well, that's the rumor. Rumor is 2 versions. I think that's also what we're gonna see. That day.
Highly corroborated rumors.
Yes. So I think we'll see the much weaker version of the new system that day as well. But I'm thinking 5 and 450. So 5 for
I'm
the
thinking a
for
bigger difference than that.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be a
Maybe
bigger
I think
difference.
5 and 4.
Yeah, a $50
Say 5 and
difference
4.
isn't
Um,
much to people.
Like 550, maybe 450 is what I'm gonna go with.
Dude, I
say
might even go
because
6 and 4.
I wouldn't be surprised.
the specs are huge in difference between
They'll
the
probably
second
try
system.
throwing some
It is.
game. They'll probably I could see them bumping it up to 600 because they'd probably throw in they'll make it a bundle because they'll throw in stuff with
A
it too.
year of Game
Controllers,
Pass.
year Game Pass, controllers, 1 or 2 headset, maybe a couple download codes for games, depending.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe it's a. I will be surprised. I mean, if I had to guess, to be honest, I think I would put money on 500 for the X and maybe 400 for the S. But I think it'll be at least 100 in difference, but maybe even more. There's been rumors that the S is going to be, or the Series X is going to be as low as like 300, and it's going to be a night of mic drops, and Sony's not going to know what to do.
Yep. They'll be
So
like,
we'll
"Ooh."
see. We'll see. Another Xbox thing that I thought was cool. They had a xCloud controller announced, made by 8-Bit Do or 8-Bit Do.
Yeah,
And
they make a lot of
okay.
It's
controllers.
got an 18-hour rechargeable battery, said to feature ultimate control over every piece of your controller. It essentially looks like a SNES controller, except for it's got the whole R1, R2, L3, R3, and all the bells and whistles of a modern controller. Looks pretty sweet. You can easily attach it to your smartphone, and once xCloud announces, I hope we hear some more about that too. I'm sure that that's been
Yep.
thrown into a bit of disarray due to COVID, but yeah, if you want to check that out, you can probably just Google xCloud controller 8-Bit Do, and it's available for pre-order on Amazon. Not much more to say about that. I just thought it looked super neat, so I put it in.
Yeah,
And
Maybe I'll pick it up.
last but not least, another prestige television show announced for a streaming service. Anybody got any guesses? It's in the outline.
HBO.
Fallout.
Fallout. Yes, Fallout
Yeah.
series announced for Amazon Prime. Amazon Studios has just announced a Fallout TV series from Westworld creators Jonathan Nolan and Lisa serving as producers. They put out a brief teaser trailer, no release date, but blah blah blah. They're quoted as saying, Fallout is one of the greatest game series of all time. Each chapter of this insanely imaginative story has cost us countless hours we could have spent with family and friends. Interesting way to put it. So we're incredibly excited to partner with Todd Howard and the rest of the brilliant lunatics at Bethesda to bring this massive, subversive, and darkly funny universe to life with Amazon Studios, said Joy and Nolan in a statement. So we got the HBO folks from Westworld moving over to make a Fallout game. We got the HBO folks from Chernobyl moving over to make a Last of Us show. I didn't mean to say game before. What's got the better shot at success? HBO's The Last of Us or Amazon's Fallout?
I'm thinking
HBO's
HBO.
The Last of Us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
what I wanna go
the
with.
I think the director of Chernobyl. I think it fits better with like The Last of Us more than Fallout does with Westworld.
I think Last of Us has an advantage out the gate because they already know the story they're telling. It's Joel and Ellie's original journey. With Fallout, that's got to be a daunting thing to write. I mean, it's such a
Mm.
Oh
rich,
yeah, there's so many lines of
lore,
dialogue.
heavy
Yeah.
universe.
Ugh.
Yeah, and who
Yeah,
knows
that's-
what are they going to even start with there? I think that could potentially be even better. Like if they pull it off right, I think that the Fallout universe is a richer and more storied one than The Last of Us, in terms of its scope and amount of characters and settings, and the fact that we've seen Vegas and DC and Boston and wherever the old ones took place. So yeah, I mean, I think it's neat that we're getting these sort of big budget shows, and after the success of The Witcher is what caused it, because I think that nobody expected Netflix's The Witcher to be the most popular show of the first couple months when it was out. Everybody's, eagerly awaiting season 2. I think that they just resumed filming. And yeah, so hopefully it means that we get more good to great video game adaptations in the future. I think that Amazon and HBO both have really I mean, of course HBO, but I've been surprised at some of Amazon's originals since I've reluctantly subscribed to Prime so I could watch some of them.
What's going to be next? Skyrim?
Skyrim.
Elder Scrolls? Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. Any guesses on what's gonna what's Hulu or what's Apple TV gonna adapt?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
Skyrim
still
kind
waiting
of
for that
would be
live action
interesting.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
You say
I
Yu-Gi-Oh?
could,
Yeah. What did you say, Tyler? I'm
I
sorry. I
could
didn't cut you off.
see something like Gears. You know, they've been attempting the Gears movie. I mean, I could see them shifting from the movie approach to a TV series.
Could see that. That could be cool. You have to get a bunch of really buff dudes and gals
Right.
to make that one happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of really expensive suits to take like half an hour or more than that to put on. Like, oh, I've been training using my chainsaw gun all day, and I'm so tired.
Right.
I just want to
It
sit
weighs
down.
220 pounds.
Except we're using all the throat people. The
They
ones
already
that threw
they
away.
already made a Persona anime, so
Yeah. Oh, did
Yeah.
you see that? That the
True.
English dub, the Blu-ray's fucking like $300.
what?
Yeah. If you want to get the
Wow.
Persona 5, the whole season of a game you can just play for $50, $60, $300 dub. It's
Wow.
gross.
That's insane.
Wow. That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And
Why?
Japanese people, what's up with those guys?
What's up with those guys?
Just kidding.
And
Wow.
we did. Were you guys able to check out the teaser trailer for The World Ends with You? The teaser for that anime. They
Whoa,
dropped the
what?
teaser
They're
trailer.
making
for
an
that.
anime of it?
Yeah.
What? That's sick. That'll be a great anime because I played the game, but it's just I don't know. I appreciate Square and they're they like it's on Nintendo handheld. It was originally on the DS, and then they made the remake for Switch. It was a lot of all the mechanics getting your fingers in there all the time, and I like
It's on
Kingdom
sale
Hearts
for
art style.
25 right now, last I checked,
Really?
on Switch.
Mm.
Mhm.
Ooh. Yeah, it's interesting. It's nice. If you like the Kingdom Hearts aesthetic, you'll love this game. If you like anime, you'll like this game.
Yeah, so they're
Cool.
turning into the anime, and they dropped the teaser trailer for it already.
That's sweet. I'll have to check that out. That's cool.
All right, guys and gals, thanks for tuning in. That has been the Level With You show for this week. My name is Wiley Olmstead. I am joined by the usual gang of folks. We are live every Tuesday evening. You can catch the show. We do other streams throughout the week, as well as put up the occasional video on youtube.com/levelwithyou. If you have any feedback, feel free to leave it in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, stay level.
Bye.